You're listening to the Murder Speaks podcast, the show that spills the tea about true crime. Here's your host, Wendy Hinbest.
Hey, welcome back to Murder Speaks. I hope everyone's having a great week. So, my kids go back to school tomorrow. I spent the day organizing. I got all their backpacks organized and everything, and I had to make lunches again tonight. And I went out shopping. When I went grocery shopping, I bought more hand sanitizer for them, and I picked up some more masks just to be safe. So yeah, my kids go back to school tomorrow, and my littlest one, she's 5. I had her at home for a while, but she's not liking being at home, like doing school at home. She does not like it at all. In fact, it's so hard to keep her attention. She doesn't want to sit at the computer. She wants to go back to school and see her friends, and so I have to call the school tomorrow and let them know that my daughter wants to switch. And so within a few weeks she'll be going back to school as well. So it's gonna be weird not having my kids at home. I mean, I'm gonna miss them. I mean, I'm not, don't get me wrong, it was stressful having them at home and everything. It was stressful, working and having them at home. I have 5 kids, but I have 3 of them that need my help, and 2 of them can't read. So I literally was a teacher the entire time. I was basically a teacher. So it was stressful, but I mean, I'm a little bit sad that they're going back to school because I like having them at home. But anyways, it's fine. They'll be happier. They'll be happier being at school. So they're looking forward to going back to school and seeing their friends and everything. And, I just want to make sure they're safe. So I went out and bought a whole bunch of masks, extra masks and hand sanitizer and everything. So, tomorrow should be interesting. Made their lunches already and everything. So they just have to, tomorrow make sure they're up early and, back to our busy schedule with school and everything. But so I hope the rest of you guys, whoever out there has kids, I hope everything is going well with you guys. And okay, let's get to this week's episode. So this week's real crime story is about 41-year-old Debbie Ashley of Little Rock, Arkansas. She was a medical supply saleswoman, and she disappeared April 5th, 1991. She got married at 17, and they had a daughter, and they lived in Atlanta, Georgia. She divorced her first husband in 1986, and then she met her second husband, Larry. She moved to Little Rock, Arkansas, with her daughter and her husband. Then April 5th, 1991, she was heading to Atlanta, Georgia, but she went missing. Her husband, Larry, called around to look for her, and on April 8th, 1991, Debbie Ashley was reported missing. Her husband, Larry, told police that she left for a business trip on Friday, April 5th, and was supposed to return Sunday evening. Well, she never did. Her first husband kept track of her credit cards and noticed the activity on her credit cards stopped on April 5th, 1991. Her car was discovered in the long-term parking area of the Little Rock Airport on April 11th, 1991, and her body was found in the trunk. She had 2 gunshot wounds, one in the abdomen and one in the mouth. Her co-worker was the last person to see her, but his alibi checked out, so he was cleared. Her husband Larry tells police that Debbie called him. However, the police check his phone records, and they don't see any calls from Debbie to Larry. Larry was fired from his job as an administrator from a psychiatric hospital. He was fired in 1990 for tampering with company books. He tells police they got into an argument, and the gun went off accidentally. So he panicked and put her body in the trunk, but the medical examiner said the barrel of the gun was put in her mouth and fired from the roof of her mouth. So it obviously was not an accident. Larry was arrested at his job about 3 hours after Debbie's body was found. He was convicted of capital murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Yeah, I mean, obviously it wasn't an accident. He made it seem like they had a fight and there was a struggle, and then the gun accidentally went off. But the gun couldn't have accidentally went off in her mouth, in the roof of her mouth. So he obviously put the gun in her mouth and fired. So yeah, his story about it being an accident is foolish. He obviously killed her, and he probably planned it as well. So yeah, he's where he needs to be. I mean, they were only married for a year. They weren't married very long. It makes me wonder, did he marry her just because, she had a good job and maybe she had money? Well, thank you so much for joining me on this week's Real Crime Story. If you like it, please share it. Sharing is caring. And if you are a true crime addict like me, check out my store, crystalkiss.com. That's Crystal with a K, for some murder merch. Start killing it with Crystal Kiss murder merch. Also, check out my YouTube channels. I have one called Crystal Kiss, where I talk about real crime stories. And I have one called Wendy Boo, where I play games with my children. So check them out and subscribe. Join me again on Murder Speaks. Thanks for listening. Bye.